We take weird joy in making our characters angsty. Physically restraining myself from shiny new idea syndrome, and now it's talking to me. The old book 5 will be book 6. If this is the first vlog you come across my channel, you're gonna think I'm just like chapter of something. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Emily and welcome to the start of another writing vlog where I'm going to be editing my current novel that I will be publishing later this year. Okay, I haven't vlogged in so long, but I have a new camera, so I'm sure you can see every single pore in my skin. For the last couple months, if you've been following along, you'll know I've been working on In Dying Starlight, my series of science fiction novellas that I'm publishing as a web novel, and I'm still doing that. That is still very, very, very ongoing. But I am taking just the slightest break at the moment because Project Fae, my novel, needs a lot of editing and it needs my time and attention. I have booked my copy editor for that novel for June, and I'm sort of working out a tentative deadline for myself on when I need to have everything fixed and when I need to send it out to beta readers so that I can fix any plot holes that are likely to come up. I've given myself a deadline of finishing a whole editing pass by the end of this month so that I can start getting the book out to beta readers in March. There are 32 chapters in the book, and in order to give myself a little bit of buffer time for the chapters that I'm sure are going to take forever because some of them need complete rewrites, I'm trying to edit 2 chapters a day. And for the last couple days I've been successfully doing that, so yay on me for my own self-imposed deadline a couple days in a row. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Not a lot of information at the moment. I'm just trucking along on Project Fae. The first half is pretty solid as it is. Once I get to the second half, it's gonna be a little rough, and then you'll probably see me go, For those of you who are following along with the In Dying Starlight madness, Book 3 has been drafted, Book 3 has been edited, Book 4 is drafted, and Book 5 is drafted from when I previously wrote the series just as 5 novellas. So about the first third of In Dying Starlight 4 is going to need really, really heavy edits to sort of tie in with the new stuff that I've written. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of In Dying Starlight updates this month, just because I'm just going to be editing Book 4. We'll see. I might hit a major roadblock and then you'll hear about it. The other thing I have to do regarding Project Fae is I need to start at least brainstorming sketches for the cover, and I'm going to have some artwork I want to do in the book, so I'm not going to plan on doing all of these this month. I know I'm not that crazy and artwork takes me a long time, but I need to start planning. Okay, this was a very chatty intro. I never told you what date it is. It's Wednesday, it's February 9th. I've been doing TikTok videos all morning. I'm almost to 3,000 followers. So I need to sit down and do my 2 chapters for today, one of which is going to be a problem because it's really, really rough. Okay, it's Saturday, February 12th. I was struggling the last few days. I was having a not good time with chapter 14 on Project Fae. If anybody tells you that editing is easy, they are either 1, lying to you, or 2, they have a supernatural power and you should respect them. Chapter 14 was rough. It took me like 3.5 days to actually get through because for about 2 of those days I was staring at it and procrastinating and staring at it and writing a sentence and procrastinating. Although in that procrastinating, I did research a bunch of names for a bunch of the secondary characters that I really needed. So, I mean, silver linings, but Chapter 14 tried to kill me. It had a ton of like heavy lifting to do as far as the world building goes and as far as like, transitioning over a major time jump, and also lots of heavy lifting on character building, so it was a lot. I think it's like 80% good now. I'm still gonna have to go back and read it a couple more times before I send this to beta readers because it's an important chapter. So yesterday I was quite productive. I finished chapter 14 and I also edited most of chapter 15. I thought I edited all of it and then forgot that I had a small section at the end, but I got that this morning. Yesterday I also wrote 1,200 words on In Dying Starlight. 4. Last one, sorry. Yes, 4. Oh no. This is gonna be really bad when I get to like the 10th novella. What's going on with In Dying Starlight, I don't know if I covered this already, is that the 4th book, like the second 2/3 of it are good, but the first third of it needs a rewrite because the beginning of it does not match up with the other stuff I have written into the story in the first 3 novellas. So the first third of it's going to be new draft, basically. And the next 2/3 of it will just need editing and mostly editing. I do have a bit of a buffer with In Dying Starlight for what I'm posting right now, but I don't have as much of a buffer as I would have liked because December just did a number on me and I didn't write as much as I wanted to. So in order to feel safe with my posting schedule, I'm working on number 4 at the same time as Project Fae, which is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's not too bad trying to switch brains, at least not yet. Today I want to edit chapter 16 and at least most of chapter 17 because I think 17 is going to need a lot of work too. 16 is... oh yeah. Chapter 16 is an emotional wreck for the main character. Throughout the story there have been sort of hints of a past and a background and things that are going on, but chapter 16 is like you get all of the context and it's gonna hurt. For the main character, not for me. I'm the writer. We take weird joy in making our characters angsty. That being said, this is still going to be a rough chapter to edit because it's got a lot of emotion, which is the best to write, but the hardest to pull off. So yeah, it's very warm outside, so I'm waiting for my computer to charge so I can go outside and sit in the sun, actually enjoy the weather until it gets back to being like cloudy and 60 degrees. I am just in one of those moods where I'm like, I can do anything and everything. Let me write 15 books this year and just publish 10, and I'm in one of those moods. Which is a great mood to be in. If unrealistic, I will just, you know, grab hold of that mood and be as productive as I possibly can while I feel like I can just take on the world. And I got to 3,000 followers on TikTok. Yay. It's fun to get a lot of followers by just doing stupid stuff. Onward. I'm physically restraining myself from shiny new idea syndrome. I've been wanting to write lit RPG progression fantasy type stuff for a while now, and I've had this idea that's been just, you know, ruminating in the back of my mind for a while. And now it's talking to me, and I want to write it. But I can't because I have too many projects going on. It's too many. Speaking of too many projects and ideas, yesterday I was thinking about In Dying Starlight, and you know, I've got books 4 and 5 like drafted out from previously, and so I'm editing book 4 and like rewriting the beginning of it, and I realized there was like a plot point I had later on that I wanted to like work in somehow. If you guys are reading the story, I don't know if I've done the spiel yet. It's free to read online. It's a web novel. If you're caught up on that, even if you're not caught up on that, this is not really spoilers. This is very like science fantasy. It's very, you know, Star Wars-y, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is not hard science fiction at all. I've got this crystal that sort of helps power the spaceships, and I always wanted to do something with like the moon where they mine those crystals, and I wanted to do something like later on, but I realized in book 4 I've got the love interest introduced, and it's sort of enemies to lovers type thing, and in book 5 they sort of start not liking each other but respecting each other and admitting that the other person has some good qualities type of plot point, which was fine when it was just a 5 novella series, but now that it's considerably longer, it's going to be at least 10, I was thinking it would be so much better for the pacing if I had something between books 4 and 5, and I realized I could use that plot point about the moon with the crystals in between, and I could have like way more plot points with the love interest, which is great. This is great. It works wonders for the pacing of the story and like the character development and everything. It just means that I need to draft a lot while I'm also working on Project Fae. Because I had a buffer, like books 4 and 5 are written and I just needed some changes at the beginnings of each. But now I have to not only change the beginning of book 4, but change book 4 to lead into this new idea that I'm going to do for book 5, and the old book 5 will be book 6. If this is the first vlog you come across my channel, you're gonna think I'm just like, and that's fine because that's an accurate representation of this channel. So yesterday I wrote 1,300 words worth of outlining because I wanted to outline out book 4 and the new book 5 because I wanted to know where I was going with it. So it's great because I know where I'm going. I also wrote 800 words on the new beginning of book 4 yesterday, which is great. I have so much to do. Also, do you remember when I implied that, like, now that I was done with, where is it? Where's my Scrivener document? Now that I was done with, like, chapter 14 on Project Fae and, like, chapter 15 was gonna be emotional or whatever, you know how I sort of implied that, like, chapter 14 was hard and it was sort of gonna get easier afterwards? I was wrong. I lied. I'm a liar. I was so confident about the first half of this book because I always knew the first half was more solid than the second half. So editing the first half, I was like, this is great. 2 chapters a day. That's not too bad. I forgot the second half of this is just rough. Like, it's good and it has potential, but it's rough. It's noon right now. I've been working on In Dying Starlight 4 this morning. For obvious reasons, I now need to hustle on this story. I wrote 1,700 words this morning. The good news is I'm on chapter chapter 3 of book 4 right now. I think once I get to like chapter 5, and if you've been reading this, you know they're not super long chapters. They're like 1,000 to 2,000 words a piece. Once I get to like chapter 4 or 5, maybe 6, most everything from the old version of the book can be moved over into this new draft and just edited, changing some things to make sure that the character development is correct and changing the ending just a little bit. The good news is I know exactly where I'm going with 4, and I know exactly where I'm going with 5, and 6, the book that is now number 6, is going to be pretty good. Being in a writing slump in like December and the first half of January just killed me. I'm trying to do a web novel here, brain. Can you work? This is fine. Everything's fine. This is like a good problem to have. Writing a lot just makes me happy, I guess. So this is good. Y'all, the amount of complaining I'm going to do about the editing process is probably going to stay the same or get worse from here on out. So I hope you all like watching me suffer as I edit, but also being like happy with In Dying Starlight. So good balance. I need to stop talking. 10 minutes I've been talking. I need to stop. It's noon, so I should probably eat breakfast and then write.
What is that?
Okay, it's Friday, February 18th. Editing this vlog yesterday, I realized how long it's getting. I'm feeling particularly chatty this week, I suppose. So I think I am going to end the vlog here. Yesterday, I ended up writing 2,500 words on In Dying Starlight. I also edited Project Fae for about 2 hours. I was working on editing the second half of chapter 18, and chapter 18 is a problem. I'm gonna go into this in the next vlog because I have things to talk about, but I have some issues with the last act of this book, and I think I need to do some breaking down the story into its bare bones type of thing to try to figure out what's the problem. 'Cause I don't know what the problem is. I can just feel it. Something's off. So Chapter 19 and Chapter 20, though, I think are really good, and they just need some line editing, so I probably will get into those today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, giving it a thumbs up and giving me a subscribe really supports my channel. You can read my web novel, In Dying Starlight, about a cyborg bounty hunter and his talking badger companion. It's free to read. Links are all below. Updating 3 days a week. My short story collection, All the Woods She Watches Over, is available in paperback and on Kindle Unlimited. I have it on good authority. It may make you cry. I'd love to hear what you guys are all working on or what you're reading at the moment, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!